Yikes. $100 a barrel?
I mean, I think what's interesting is, the market has shifted so dramatically. I look at the chatter on Twitter, and people like just a few months ago were pretty bearish, and the people who were calling for $100 oil were kind of looked at with skepticism. But clearly, what's happened here is OPEC Plus has continued cuts. Right? They've removed millions of barrels from the market, and they've extended those cuts, which they reiterated yesterday during their meeting, through the end of June, and that's really adding a lot of tightness to the market, especially since demand has been a bit more resilient than folks have expected. Now, of course, add on top of that geopolitical risk. What's happening in the Middle East, what's the tension that's continuously rising with Iran, the United States, and the Israel-Hamas war. On top of that, you also have Mexico looking to reduce their exports to some refineries of heavier crude. And also, when you look at the whole OPEC Plus situation, while they are saying they're going to continue their cuts, they haven't been doing the best job at doing it. There has been actually increasing exports out of Russia. Iraq has also been producing pretty strongly. So there's also the question that physically you might start seeing them kind of cut back real this time. Instead of just saying they're going to do it, serving lip service, they might actually start to reduce their exports. All of that together is what's sort of pushing forward this $100 narrative.
So there is justification for oil prices to be where it is right now. The thing is, it's been such a rapid rise.
Yeah, certainly. And again, as I'm saying, that shift was also rapid of this bearish tone to the bullish tone because for a long time, for the last few months going into 2024, there was this idea of a glut. And OPEC Plus, they called it right. When they said they wanted to do cuts, they could take a lot of froth out of the market. So this is being driven by fundamentals, correct?
It has said that those upward cuts will be maintained through June. Might that be extended? They must like the prices where they are.
Right. So OPEC Plus has to play a very delicate game, right? They want prices above $80, $85, especially Saudi Arabia. They want that to balance their budget and push forward. I think Brent is around $89, almost $90 right now. That's sort of a sweet spot for them. Once you start hitting $100, that's when Joe Biden starts calling you. And he's like, hey guys, it's an election year. We got a tough time. Gasoline prices are rising. And not just Joe Biden, it's their customers in Asia as well. Because when you look at what OPEC Plus is supposed to do, they're supposed to provide balance. And when you're in a deficit, and if the deficit is going to get worse in the third quarter and fourth quarter, and they're continuing those cuts, soon their customers start questioning that. And $100 is sort of a demand destruction area, which is what they don't want. They want people buying their product. They don't want people scoffing at them or politicians calling them.
We're looking at $100 a barrel at a time when China's economy is in the doldrums. Imagine if China were to pick up in its recovery.
I mean, I think that's part of the narrative as well, right? If Chinese demand were to really bounce back, that could really put a lot of fuel onto this. If the Chinese government were to push forward with potentially stimulus, any of that would really add some fuel to the fire. Now, there is resilient demand for oil, but yes, the China story has been one of missed expectations, a lot, especially in 2023 when people were expecting China to really bounce back after COVID. That didn't really happen.
Of course.